Well, folks, here I am, Jimbyrd, on the Technology Essentials for Everyday Living. This is video number 5, and it's going to be on the internet, with the subset being on the Internet of Things. That's going to be broken down into 3 subsets. The first will be automotive. The second will be devices, and the third will be tracking. But I want to hit on what I have said on the first 4 videos, and that's 2 things to really remember, and that's to back up your stuff. And the second is that if you need to know any more information, go to YouTube, because I'm just talking at the macro level, just touching the surface on this to pique your interest, so that if you want to know more, you can go to YouTube, wade through the weeds until your brain hurts. But my intention again is just to give you an overview of what's out there and what's available today. In the area of automotive, I think the most important thing for you to know is that what you see on TV with Progressive Insurance, they want to put a dongle or something that on that order on your car that will tell them how fast you're driving, where you're going, how often you're going, but most importantly, what your speed is, how much you're breaking the speed limit, because they know that. And secondly is how hard you're hitting the brakes. That probably should be first, because if you're hitting the brakes at a heavy G-force all the time or quite frequently, then most likely you're tailgating people and you're going to have an accident, and they don't really want you as a customer. Secondly, or thirdly, or whatever, cars obviously have dynamic speed control now, which means that your car will follow another car, and if it needs to slow down, it will. If it needs to brake, it will. And then when it needs to speed up, it will, all without you doing anything. And in the future, now you can override this, but in the future, probably cars will override the driver. And that means that if they really think they need to stop, they're going to stop. And of course, we have blindside information, we have awareness of going out of your lane, and many other things. But anyway, I've hit on the really important part of the Internet of Things and the automotive industry. So now I'll go on to devices. And devices could be your thermostat. You're in Sydney, Australia, you want to turn down the thermostat, you can do that. Someone knocks at your door. They have the Ring commercial, for example, you've seen on TV. So you can tell the person at your door to go away or whatever, even though you're nowhere in sight. And then there's applications for the turning on your lights or turning on your stove. Then there's other applications that you don't maybe think about, but like parking meters or the Internet of Things. They send that data occasionally to the mothership, and to do that, that's called basically the NB-IoT, which stands for Narrowband Internet of Things. That doesn't take much bandwidth, which you've probably heard the term bandwidth talked about. If you're watching a TV program or video, streaming it on Roku or through your TV somehow with a streamer, that takes a lot of bandwidth in your modem and in your router and in your television tuner. So, or in this case it'd be in your streamer tuner. and your TV is just a monitor for that. Other things that would be, and I'll take a peek here, soil monitors and weather stations. Those would be in that category as well. Now, that pretty much wraps up the second subset that I wanted to talk about on the Internet of Things. The third area are trackers, and there's two categories of that. Perhaps one's the Bluetooth type tracker, which I don't find particularly useful, but it's quite popular with some people. It's a little device that you could put in your briefcase or suitcase, and then if you don't know where it is and you're within a couple 100 feet of it, you can call that number on your phone. It's a subscribed service with a telephone number, and then it will ring. Now, if you're in New York and you left your briefcase in Chicago, then someone else who subscribes to this service, if they get within a few feet of that laptop case, then that tracker through Bluetooth will talk with the application on that person's smartphone, and then the smartphone application will, through the cell towers, send a message to your smartphone telling you what the location of your laptop case is, and then you can go find it or get it. The other thing, which probably is more useful and practical, is the GPS tracker, and that's the type that you can put on a car, and you may have a small business and you may want it for your vans or your delivery cars or something like that, or you may want it for your kids, or you may want it for your spouse. But the way that works is basically, again, it's a subscription type service. You have to get a telephone number for that device, and then the device is attached to your car, either a secret plate or just very obviously, and the antenna for the cell towers transmits the information from the GPS antenna where you're at and where you're going from point A to B, how fast you're going there. And with your cell phone application or your tablet application, you can then watch where your car is at any time. You can know whether it's moving, whether it's not moving, and exactly where it's at within a few feet, unless someone has driven it into a parking garage, and you would even know that because it would show you the last known coordinates in longitude and latitude. Now, that pretty much wraps up what I wanted to say in this video. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you like it, please click on like below and tell your friends. And I hope to see you in video number 6. So goodbye. Thank you very much.